Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Total Drama Multiverse. That is wild that I'm saying that. This will be a normal challenge episode, so let's just get into it. We kick off the pre-merge, or the pre-challenge section rather, with Toph being confused because she goes to, she just knows because she's gone enough times. She knows how to get to her seat next to Luz and Marcy, but she goes over there and they're neither of them are sitting next to where they normally sit. So she goes around calling for their names because she can feel everybody's feet in the lunchroom, but she can't really tell who's who. The only one she can really tell is Elmo and Fritz, since they have different feet than the others, who are just either humans or kind of human. So eventually Luz and Marcy call her over to where they're now sitting, and they basically both go off on her for trying to vote. And Toph is like, how did y'all even learn that? And they're like, so it is true. And Toph's like, so what if it's true? Marcy's annoying and taking all the time I spend, or all the time I want to spend with Luz away. And that leads into a big argument, these two versus Toph, and it's public in front of everybody. And that pretty much makes them have a falling out. Luz feels bad, but it doesn't really matter. These two just hate each other now. So yeah, these three are kind of not on the best terms. Because of this, Toph wanders around until she just sits down, and she ends up sitting next to Peter, who just kind of sits on his own, and they have a talk, and Peter cheers her up, and Toph and Peter have their alliance get stronger. Meanwhile, these three are discussing in the corner of the place. They're discussing who to vote tonight, and they think that, Ashley thinks that they should capitalize on this whole fight and get Toph out, because if they get Toph out, who they now can everyone can tell that Toph and Peter are at least on good terms, then they can get Peter out, and that's probably the two biggest challenge threats out of the way back to back. But Dipper, who is still hates Fritz, even though Fritz is pretty much given up on trying to help Dipper at this point. Dipper still hates Fritz, and Elmo still wants to get out Fritz, Monika, and secretly actually Dipper. They still want to go for Fritz tonight. So yeah, they're getting annoyed with Ashley and vice versa. And then Monika, Agatha, and Fritz are all just vibing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the pre-challenge. Then we get to our challenge of the day. This challenge was once again suggested by Raymond the Fire God, officially having the most suggestions so far, with Twinber falling behind. So, congrats, I guess. But this challenge is Challenge 16, Hunting Havoc. Chris will make the remaining contestants pull a slip of paper out of a hat. On each paper is an animal name. After everyone's picked their animal, and they know the name of the challenge, so they can assume, okay, we're going to have to hunt that animal. But Chris reveals that they actually have to wear onesies of the animals they got, and announces the actual challenge is to hide from Ezekiel and Lauren while they hunt the contestants down. Ezekiel has his bow from the audition tape, while Lauren has her jackhammer from season 1. The reason these two are allowed to be here is because I feel like neither of them would have any place to go. I mean, Scary Girl was already chilling on the island before the season started, and Ezekiel as well. I think his family's pretty much abandoned him at this point. So these two kind of just live on the island, and they got along. They've been getting along great as well. But yeah, they don't really get a reward if they win. Like, they're not coming back in the competition or anything. They're just here for fun, since they already are living on the island at Playa de los Losers, I think is how you say that. So yeah, the actual onesies don't really matter much to the challenge, because while Chris said, that, Chris told Scary Girl Lauren and Ezekiel, that they have to go for the people that get certain things. So like if you get a more dangerous animal, you're less likely to get hunted by them. These two already have people they're target. She has people they're targeting, and he has people he's trying to help. So, yeah, everyone scrams around the islands, and yeah, this is kind of similar to the Agatha challenge, Elementary Evil. So I think these two split up, and I think the first thing Ezekiel does is he spots what looks like a big rock that he knows wasn't there because he's lived on the island. He's lived on the island for years. Even Farrell, his memories are still all screwed up, but he knows that rock wasn't there. So he knocks on it and he asks if it's Toph, and Toph's like, yeah, it's me, but you better not freaking get me out. We're friends, right? And Zeke's like, exactly, that's the point. I wanted to ask, who do you want me to go for? I'm trying to help you win immunity here. And Top's like, oh, okay, perfect. Well, I think the best people you should go for is Marcy and Luz. And Ezekiel's like, really? I thought that y'all were friends. And Top's like, have you been keeping up with the show? And Ezekiel's like, not really. I don't really care. So Top's like, oh, well, we're not on good terms. Just go for them because they're probably going to try to vote for me tonight. And Zeke's like, yes, ma'am. So then as for Lauren, her goal is to hunt down Elmo, Ashley, and Dipper because they're the three that voted in last night. Or not, I guess not last night, but a couple nights ago. So, yeah. But I think the first person to get caught would probably be Elmo. Elmo has really short legs, not really good at hiding, and with no end to fly him up to the top of the mountain, I don't think he can really get a good spot before Scary Girl finds him and uses her, because she's going really fast too, because she's on the jackhammer. She runs him over with the jackhammer. Also, just like Agatha, Ezekiel and Scary Girl both have one-up mushrooms so that the contestants don't die. So yeah, there goes Elmo. He's very mad and curses her out, which she thinks is funny, and she also calls it revenge for not letting her get back in the game. So yeah, now let's go over some of the hiding spots. I think Monika and Agatha, they can both kind of teleport. Monika like glitching herself around, and Agatha just can, but they want to protect Fritz as well. So what they do is they both are helping carry Fritz because Fritz is animatronic, so he can't really go that fast. So they're both carrying Fritz to the big mountain. And what they do is they hang him over the mountain. They hang him by the leg because it's not like he's gonna get the blood rushing to his head. There's nothing there, so they hang him there because they think there's no way Ezekiel or Scary Girl will be able to get him from there. And just as they finish tying him there, they both teleport to different parts of the island because Ezekiel tries to shoot some arrows at him. So yeah, these three are all split up. Then we cut to, oh, by the way, I guess these three are well, he's on the top of the mountain. She closed off the big cave where Duncan made the Guys Alliance back then, and where Katie and Sadie got stuck, if you remember that. As for Peter, Peter actually goes to the same spot as Fritz, because that's what his plan was. So they both are chilling up there and they're talking, and Peter asks Fritz who they planned on voting tonight, and the three, Fritz said that the three of them are still trying to gun for Ashley. And Peter's like, that's interesting because Ashley is a pretty big threat. And Fritz is like, yeah, would you consider voting with us tonight? And Peter's like, I'll think about it. So, yeah, Peter has that in mind. But they're both hiding together. Then I think Luz and Marcy now without any Toph to help them, I think they both probably go hide in the ruins of the freaking base. And I think they try to ambush Scary Girl as she runs through, or as she rides through the ruins. They try to rush her with a bunch of fire glyphs. But it's to no avail because Scary Girl, it's kind of similar to what happened with Agatha. They're just, neither of them are really experienced with the fire glyphs, while Scary Girl knows the place she's fighting in way better than they do and is very experienced using the jackhammer. So for the second time this season, what happens is Marcy tells Luz to run, and Luz starts running but turns back just as Marcy gets stabbed straight through the back with the jackhammer and falls to the ground. Of course, Scary Girl freaking pushes her over, and after laughing maniacally, gives her a 1-up mushroom. And after seeing that at least she's fine, Marcy's fine, Luz continues running. So yeah, I think then we cut to Ashley and Dipper, who were originally running up the mountain like they did last time, but just because, I think Ashley's giving Dipper a piggyback ride just because Dipper also has the short legs, but Elmo said he could do it himself because Elmo thought that was embarrassing. So Dipper still thinks he does too, but he won't freaking miss out on an opportunity to be riding on such an attractive girl's back. So they eventually see Ezekiel shoot the arrows at Monika and Agatha and sees them teleport away. So they both dive behind some bushes. And whenever Ezekiel walks past, Ashley jumps out from behind the bush and attacks Ezekiel and grabs the bow and arrow and freaking chucks it off the side of the mountain. And Ezekiel's pissed, but that just means that Ashley and Dipper are fine now because he doesn't have his bow, so he can't shoot him with it. Until Ezekiel just grabs one of the arrows out of the thing in his on his back and stabs her in the neck with it. And she's like, I should have thought about that, and then falls over. Dipper continues to cover his mouth and hide behind the bushes. So after feeding her a 1-up mushroom, Ezekiel walks down to go get his bow from the base of the mountain. Then we cut to, I think Monika and Agatha are both they both teleported to like opposite sides of the island. They're both just chilling on their respective beaches. Like one is on the beach from like Camp Castaway, and the other one is just near like the complete opposite of that, and they're just vibing. When I think Agatha looks around and sees Luz screaming for help and running and throwing fire glyphs behind her as Scary Girl chases her on the jackhammer. And Agatha, loving the chaos, just watches, and then once it looks like Luz is going to get away, teleports right in front of Luz, pushes her over, and then Luz is like, what the fuck? And then she teleports back to where Agatha was, and Scary Girl runs straight through Luz, splitting Luz in half, and then gives her a 1-up mushroom. Dude, if it weren't for 1-up mushrooms or the one challenge that was in VR, bro, these people would have died like 14 times. I don't know why these challenges get so brutal. Like, we'll have like 4 tame ones in a row, and then we'll have shit like this. I love it. But it's my show. I can do what I want. So anyways, Luz is out, and she's very mad at Agatha. Meanwhile, Scary Girl spots Agatha, but instead of going for her, she just nods, and they and says thanks to her, because I feel like Agatha and Scary Girl would get along great. Plus, Agatha's been being so nice around Monika and Fritz. She has to get some of that child agony out somewhere. So Yeah, because she's still like a freaking demon thing. So then we have I think the next person to get out would probably be Ezekiel gets to the base of the mountain, and while Peter and Fritz are talking, because Peter's just using a web to hang there, and then obviously Fritz is tied by the foot there. While they're talking, all of a sudden Fritz falls extremely far down and crashes on a rock, completely destroying him. And thankfully, somehow those one-up mushrooms are able to fix a robot. They can do it in Mario, so they can do it here. So it fixes the robot, and Fritz's soul goes back into the Foxy animatronic, and he flips off Ezekiel. And Ezekiel looks up. He laughs and then looks up with his bow and arrow to see that Peter isn't there anymore, and then gets kicked in the back of the head by Peter and knocked out. So Ezekiel is currently knocked out. Fritz is also out, though. And then, as for our final 5, I think eventually Scary Girl, who also lives on the island, passes Toph's rock, and knowing that isn't there originally, but also not having the alliance to Toph, crashes through the rock, and immediately gets hit by a bunch of earthbending, but she's able to use the jackhammer to break all through it and drill Toph up. So she gives Toph really needed this immunity, so she gives Toph a one-up mushroom, and Toph gets really mad. This leads us to our final 4, and Ezekiel probably wakes up all like kind of woozy, and Monika's standing above him, and she helps him up, and Ezekiel's like, "Thanks, dude," and she's like, "No problem," and she's still freaked out, by the way, from the whole Deku thing, and she's like, "Maybe Ezekiel will be in good grace to me if I help him right here, and then I will only have to worry about Scary Girl going for me." And Ezekiel's like, "By the way, guess what?" And Monika's like, "What?" And Ezekiel jabs an arrow into her face. Her face cracks, and she scares the shit out of him. And he runs away crying, leaving a one-up mushroom, because she has her whole like demon screech after it hits her face. And after eating the one-up mushroom, she freaking gets, like, she just breaks down in tears. She's like completely, like, she's just slowly breaking. Monika is out of the challenge. She misses Zuko. This leads us to our final 3. And I think out of this, the obvious one that's getting out first is Dipper. I just don't think he'd be able to last as long, because we get like far into the night here, but I don't think he'd be able to last as long against these two as these two. And I think eventually, with Scary Girl not wanting to go for Agatha and Ezekiel being scared of Peter, they're both going for these two. And I think eventually, even though there's a bunch of teleporting, I think Peter's still harder to hit with a jackhammer than Agatha is with an arrow. And eventually Ezekiel takes out Agatha, making Peter our challenge winner. So Peter wins immunity, and everyone says goodbye to Ezekiel and Scary Girl. Well, that like him. So let's bring everybody over here. That's the end of the challenge. And we get to our post-challenge section. So quickly build our dynamics. We have this, that, there we go. So after the challenge, freaking Agatha goes to search for Monika after realizing that she's not around camp like everyone else is, and finds Monika in the same spot, just freaking sobbing and freaking out. And eventually Monika just, like, she freaking just breathes in And then when she hears Agatha coming through the bushes, and she's like, she glitches her face back into normalcy because it's still cracked because of the stress. So she fixes it back into normalness and tells Agatha that because she's on the ground right now, tells Agatha that she was searching for a quick snack and tripped over, and Agatha believes her. But Monika is like not doing well mentally. As for the rest, I don't think there's too much going on, except for the fact that Ashley goes to Marcy and Luz, just like she did last night, and or well, again, I say last night, but the night after the elimination of In, and talks to Luz and Marcy about them having her vote, as well as Elmo and Dipper's, while Elmo and Dipper actually go to Toph and Peter, and they're like, hey, us two want to get out Fritz still, so if y'all help us get out Fritz, can or will later help you get out Marcy or Luz or whoever you want. And they're like, okay, that's good. Elmo is starting to really get sick of working with Dipper, by the way. Monika and Agatha and Fritz are just vibing. So yeah, this brings us to elimination. And at elimination, Luz, Marcy, and Ashley, thinking they have all the numbers they could ever ask for, vote for Toph. And then Monika, Agatha, and Fritz still vote for Ashley. But Peter, Toph, and Dipper all vote for Fritz. But surprisingly, Elmo, who is the one who wants to get out Fritz the most out of everybody, because he wants to get out Fritz, Monika, and Dipper, has gotten really sick of all of Dipper's like quippy comments and just being a nerd. Elmo is like just done with him and ends up out of pure anger and resentment towards Dipper, which I know this is kind of coming out of nowhere, but this has been happening, especially during the challenge, whenever he already feels betrayed by Ashley for not voting with them. And now when Ashley took Dipper up the hill and just left him, he didn't want to be on the piggyback, but he still wanted some help so that he wouldn't be the first person. He ends up changing his vote. And actually, I was going to say he votes Dipper, but I actually think he votes Ashley. So it ends up being 3 votes for Fritz, 3 votes for who is it? 3 votes for Toph, and then 4 votes for Ashley, with Monika, Agatha, Fritz, and Elmo voting for Ashley. After this happens, Ashley stands up furious, and Elmo talks about it to her, why he voted, and Ashley just leaves, cursing out Elmo and Dipper and saying she's never going on another game show again. So Ashley is eliminated this round. Also, after this, this is not Elmo. Peter and Toph are still good, but Dipper is staying with them right now, vote-wise, because Elmo made it clear in their whole argument, Elmo and Ashley's argument, that he's made it very clear to Ashley with their secret final 2-packs, because they had their secret final 2-pack, that he wants Dipper, Fritz, and Monika out. And she just wouldn't do that. So now he has to align with what he calls the enemy, 1, 2, 3 enemy, to get her out. Then he'll worry about them. Remember, this is in front of everybody, not Elmo's smartest move. So, yeah, Ashley is eliminated. Also, Luz and Marcy and Toph are all just annoyed at the fact that none of the 3 of them got out, because Luz and Marcy wanted Toph, and Toph wanted Marcy. Not Luz. Toph wants Marcy out. So yeah, that's how our current standings look. Actually, I'll put Elmo here because Elmo kind of alienated himself from everybody. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you all in the next episode of Total Drama Multiverse. See ya.